people are either, the issue is the strappedness for time, whether it's they are working a 9 to 5, or maybe they're just like booked out the wazoo with freelance work, but they want to do
Mhm.
courses. How exactly did you find yourself with more time to do the courses to fill up your time, or is it because I'm sure it's still at some point you were freelancing at the time where did you put your courses in the backseat and only kind of like worked on that while you had time, and then eventually it switched? Like, how did you prioritize courses, and how would you recommend other people do that too as they're trying to do that? Because the market changes very quickly. How
Mhm.
would you think about that? How did you think about that then, and how do you think about that now for people who are starting?
Yeah,
Loaded,
okay.
loaded question.
It is, but
Okay.
I think I got it. I think I got it. So again, let's do then versus now because the strategy is a bit different now. Like if I were to, and I do, like coach you or not you, Brandon, but like a person, um, to do this today, like this, how I would suggest it today might be pretty different than that strategy that I used then. So let's go with these two parts. Take this two ways. So when I started freelancing, I was first of all shocked at the abundance of time available in the workday. Because
Mm.
when you work at a job, you're just waiting, you just fill the day. You just fill it with whatever. You got responsibilities, you have a project and you stretch it out in the day. You take a little
Yep.
bit longer of a break. I don't know, you're not that motivated to be there unless it's like your dream job and you love it, sure. But if you're just like not that into it and you're going to stretch the thing out. Like, and you think, oh man, building a website takes weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks because that's what it is. When I work at the studio, we all take our time because it's
Right.
so big. But when I started working for myself, I was like, all right, so this website that I'm building is going to take a long time. And I started building it and it was like done on day two because I spent the whole day designing and coding. And then the next day I finished it. And I was like, wait, that was so fast. I thought this was going to take me like 2 weeks, but I'm done. Now what? And so I started to realize
Yeah.
like it's a lot to fill an 8 hour workday. And if you fill an 8 hour workday and you don't know what you got done, then you're making like, you got a big problem. So like, that's a lot of time. Like I start working at like 5 in the morning and I'll stop around 12. And that's my goal. And sometimes I'll start later and end later, but it's just like, you can get a lot done. It's stupid how much you can get done in that time. So when I started and I realized the abundance of time you have available when you are working for yourself,
Yeah.
I was like, I got time for this. And because I wasn't like jam packed with client work all the time, like I had client work relatively consistently, but I had downtimes. So I invested those downtimes into business development, let's call it, which was let's think about making a course, let's plan a course, let's make a course, let's promote the course, and then let's make more courses. So I had that downtime. But then it started to get to the point where now I get more freelancing work. Now I'm getting better freelancing work. Now I'm doing WordPress stuff. Now I'm charging a lot more money for my projects. Now I'm working with an agency and they've got tons of work to send me. And this is like on fire in a good way. But
Yeah.
I also have this course business. Now I have like a few hundred students, a few thousand students. And then I'm like, whoa, I have a lot of people over here who were like, please update that lesson. I want a new thing about this. Please teach us how to do this. And I'm like, this is what I love about both of these things is one, I get to practice my craft and do it for people over here. But over here, I get to create one thing and I sell it twice, 200
Mm.
times, 2,000 times, 200,000 times. It's like it's infinitely scalable. So I can see the potential in the scalability of this product that doesn't require me to be there to teach it like at a university class
Right.
every week. I did it one time and I'm still teaching people to this day with that old 10-year-old course. Now, someone's watching a video right now that I filmed 10 years ago and they're like, wow, this is blowing my mind. So it's like, that's the power of it. So, okay, I found time back then because there was time. Now, and you mentioned things move fast. They do, like they really do move fast. You want to teach a concept, and then all of a sudden next week they're like, you know what? Like Web3 is so lame now. We're on to like
Yeah.
Web 4, And I don't know, NFTs are super sketch and probably scams. So we're just going to teach, or we're just going to change it now. Like, I don't know, it changes so fast. Everything's always
Yeah.
moving. So how would I do it now? How would I recommend someone do it now? Instead of like carving out, time and making a full-fledged course and teaching one concept that might change, I would use the power of live video and do live classes. And so what you can, and then that allows you to pivot and move quickly and get instant
Hmm.
feedback. So let's say you're like Brad today. Brad's starting, and I cloned myself, and I'm starting today. And it's like, okay, I need to supplement my freelancing income. It's a bit up and down. Like, okay, well, teach what you know. What do you know? And I take
Right.
myself through that same process and go, okay, well, what you're going to do is you're going to create a course. But instead of creating that course, like putting out, recording 20 lessons, planning it out, filming it, publishing it, and all that stuff, let's start by planning out a 4 week long course where on Mondays you go live on whatever your live streaming tool of choice is. There's
Yep.
a lot of them. And on Thursdays, you do Q&A with your students. And let's say you'll take on 10 students, just 10 for this first batch. Charge them some nominal fee, $20, $50, $100, I don't know, whatever. Doesn't matter at this point.
Very true.
And fill it up. Ask your friends, ask your coworkers. If you got a little bit of an email list, if you, whatever it is, like just get 10 people. It's not that big of a deal. Be a bit of a hustle at first, but whatever. And then you do the course. You plan it out, you give them an end result, and then you do it live. And then after that, you get feedback, you learn how you could do it better. Maybe you do a second live course. And then maybe after doing that, you realize, okay, I can take what I know from doing this a couple times live or 3 times live with 3 different cohorts. So I'm going to
Hmm.
package it into an actual product. And maybe I'll film the actual lessons and put it together in an actual course. And then maybe you put it on Udemy, maybe you sell it to your own list. I mean, there's a thousand ways to do this today
Hmm.
than was 10 years ago. But that'll allow you to move quickly and to
Yep.
pivot and to change your curriculum and massage it as you go rather than creating one rigid product at first until you know what to create. That's how I would do that today.
I hope you guys liked this episode. If you did, you can find more build from scratch website tutorials with me right here, or you can find more EditorX tips and tricks in this playlist over here. With that said, I hope to see you guys in another video. And of course, if you liked this episode and what we're doing here on this channel, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.